Fiancée actress Cynthia Hayward. The yellow section backs director Bernhardi and his wife Janet Lennon of the Lennon sisters. And the blue section is betting on Orson Bean and his wife Carolyn as we play the game of celebrity gossip, Tattletales. And here's the star of Tattletales, Bert Convy.
What are you up to now? We haven't even started and already you're pulling tricks here. Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. You have seen
That's nice material. You should have a suit made out of it.
Moving right along, folks. We hope you have fun today. We're going to have fun. I know that. We have three wonderful couples. We're going to win you all some money, I promise. So let's start it off, shall we? Fellas, have a seat out here with me. Ladies, step to the rear, and we will start our first round of Tattletales in just a moment. As soon as we get all ready. Individually as couples. Shall we do that? First is Mr. Orson Bean and his wife, Carolyn.
Yes.
Carolyn, it's nice to have you with us as always.
Thank you.
You're entirely welcome.
I've never kissed a girl in a blue box before.
Really? Well, there's always a first time for everything, isn't there? Give her a big kiss, Orson.
All right.
Say hello to her. There it is. Wasn't that nice? Did you feel that, Carolyn?
I loved it.
Really?
A whole new thing.
Oh, boy.
She's weird. She'll go for
weird.
anything.
Next
I'm
thing,
going to have one built at home.
next to Carolyn Orson is Bernhardi and his wife, Janet Lennon. Nice to have you folks with us, too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll be looking forward to an album that's coming up with you and your sisters pretty soon, won't we?
Right.
Next to Lee and Janet is Mr. Glenn Ford and his gal, Cynthia Hayward. Is Cynthia all right?
Yeah.
We've lost Cynthia's picture. Is she all right? Glenn hit the
I'm
top of the
fine.
box, and I think you knocked her cold is what happened. Because we've lost the picture there. Isn't that funny? But I think we can fix that up, can't we? All right. There she is again. No, he did it again. She came on, you hit the box, and off she went again. Now, wait, that's everybody. Wait a minute. Let's see if we can get it. No, to heck with it. So we move on. She'll come back in a minute, won't you? Oh, tap it. Give it a tap there. There she is.
Come on, guys.
Just once. There she is. There. Now, don't touch it.
You know,
All I can say is this studio cost $400 million to build, and all we have to do to get a picture is hit a box on the top of it. Okay. Fellas, I'm going to ask you questions about you and your gals and your lives together. When you have an answer you think she's going to recognize, you know what to do. You press a button, you give me a clue. Ladies, go away. We'll get back to you in just a minute, okay?
Bye-bye.
Ready to go? Here comes the first question. A time one of you fell asleep at the wrong time. Lee is up. Tell us about it, will you, sir?
well, my wife is very famous not only for singing, but for falling asleep.
Oh.
She has fallen asleep in several restaurants
Uh-huh.
while we've been waiting. But I think last year I was the associate director on the Emmy Awards, and we had gone to the party afterwards to where all the well-known people are. And we decided we didn't want to stay. So the director of the show, Marty Pacetta, invited us to go to Chasen's, to where all the bigwigs were going to go to Chasen's afterwards, and he said we get plenty to eat. Well, we got there and there was no food as usual, so we went into the restaurant to order. And I'm sitting there, and she is like this. And that's it. And everybody, I mean, like Carol Burnett and all the award winners, I can't remember, a lot of the names, but everybody was coming by saying hello and how are you, and she's
Sound asleep.
It's terribly embarrassing for me.
Terribly embarrassing.
That is my story.
Now you're going to give me a clue, and she was asleep. She may not remember it. A one or two word clue.
I think that it should be, what is it?
You can't say Chasen's. What is it? What? A time one of you fell asleep at the wrong time.
I will say, I can't use Chasen's.
No.
In Emmys.
Emmys?
Emmys.
Can you say that? Yes. You can. All right, one-word clue, and it will be Emmys, worth $100 to the yellow rooting section, who are already bananas at this point. All right, let's bring on the ladies. All right, ladies, we have asked the fellas a question, and we have a clue. Here is the question first. A time one of you fell asleep at the wrong time. Now, the clue is Emmys. Janet is up. Tell us about that, if
He
you
could
will.
have had about 10 clues for this one. I fall asleep all the time at the wrong time. But this particular time, Lee had worked the Emmys, and he'd worked very hard. And we were real excited. We were going to go out after the show, and we went to Chasen's, and he was in a taxi.
That's it. You're absolutely right for $100. What more can you say? You fell asleep and missed it all, didn't you?
Right. And he was introducing me, and I was going...
All right. Thank you. That's a $100 score for you. All right. Gentlemen, here comes the next question. Ready to go? It happened in a bar. Orson. Somehow I had a feeling that when I said bar, Orson was going to pop that button. Tell us about it.
Half of our courtship took place in one bar or another.
And we want to know where the other half took place, right, gang?
We were sitting at a little table in our favorite bistro in New York, Dick Edwards, a high-class upholstered saloon. And there was a couple sitting at the next table, and they were engaged in a heated conversation, and we were kind of half eavesdropping, just as you will in a restaurant. And the guy was talking to his girl and explaining this, that, and the other, and he looked around in the course of this heated, animated conversation for a napkin, couldn't find one, and just without even really realizing what he was doing, reached over and picked up Carolyn's napkin from the next table, wiped his mouth, put it back, and went on talking. Carolyn looked at me. She couldn't believe it. The waiter came and cleared their dinner away and brought them coffee, and the guy goes on talking, and Carolyn reaches over to his table, picks up his cup of coffee, takes a sip of it, and puts it back.
That's funny. Oh, what I want to know is, did he pick up a little bit of your check? He didn't do that.
I don't know what kind of... Maybe I need a two-word clue for that. A coffee, steal...
It happened in a bar.
Napkin. Napkin or coffee. Coffee snatch.
Happened in a bar.
Napkin snatch. Coffee. Coffee. Coffee would do it. A one-word clue is good enough.
Fine with me.
Thank you.
Whatever you want to pick.
I think one word.
You're the guy.
That's all we need.
Coffee, huh?
Tell me about yourself.
Coffee. You want to go with
Yeah,
coffee?
we'll with coffee.
All right, let's have a cup of coffee. It happened in a bar. The one-word clue, and it's coffee. Let's bring
we'll
on the
try.
ladies.
I don't know if she'll get
Okay.
it.
Shh. Ladies, we have another question. We have another clue. Here's the question. It happened in a bar. Okay? Happened in a bar. The clue is coffee. Carolyn. Tell us about it, Carolyn.
You mean the time that the guy reached over and took the napkin and then I reached...
That's the one, and you're right for $100. Absolutely right. Okay, you are right. At this point, Cynthia and Glenn have yet to score, and we have a tie between Janet Lee, Carolyn Orson with $100 apiece. Okay, time for a Tattletale quickie, and here it is. I always expect when I take it out of this side thing that Carolyn's going to go, hey, because it's right next to the... Here we are, ladies. I'm going to ask you this question. Don't give me an answer now. Can a man...
Sure.
Oh. Ooh. It's a little tricky here. Ladies, can a man be unfaithful to a woman and still be in love with her? Now, this is a general question. This does not necessarily relate to you and your fella here, okay? Can a man be unfaithful to a woman and still be in love with her?
What do you think,
Think
Bert?
that over, and I refuse to answer on the grounds it might tend to incriminate me. Right? Go away and think about that, ladies. We'll come back to you in a moment. Orson, what's Carolyn going to say?
It's a very difficult question because there are levels of love. However, I would think that with love as it is generally accepted in our sex-starved society, the answer would be yes.
Yes. And you think that's what Carolyn would say?
I hope is what she'll say.
All right.
Otherwise, the blue group is going to come and hit me over the head with a blue.
Okay, let's bring on Carolyn. Carolyn, what is the answer to that? Yes or no? Can a man be unfaithful to a woman he loves? And you know what I mean. Wait.
Buddy, you're getting nervous.
Explain this, Bert.
I'm having a little trouble with the
Tell me more
card
about
here. You know the question, yes or no? Can a man be unfaithful to a woman and still be in love with her?
Certainly seems to happen a lot that you hear about it. I'd say yes.
That's what he said. You're right. Absolutely right. Yes,
Maybe even a lot that you don't hear about.
and without exploring that any further, let's move right along. Thank you, Carolyn. Lee, how about Janet? What's she going to say?
Well, I think there was at one time that Janet would say no, that one man would be in love with one woman, and that would be it. But I think ever since Dr. Zhivago, when when the movie when Omar Sharif was in love with the two ladies, at that point, I think that changed her whole feeling.
That proved it to her, huh?
I think that she would say yes, he could be in love with two people.
Well, no, the question is not could he be in love with two people. The question is can a man be unfaithful to a woman and still be in love with her?
Yes.
With Geraldine Chaplin, it's possible.
It ain't.
She'll
What about
say
Julie
yes.
Christie? It ain't too bad either. Okay, you'll say that she'll say yes.
Yes.
Let's bring her on. All right, Janet, how do you feel about that?
I think generally speaking that absolutely they could.
That's what Lee said. You are right.
Why, generally
Not Lee,
speaking?
What was that?
Not Lee, though, or I'll kill him.
No. No, not Lee. It didn't say whether or not you would survive. It just says, could you be unfaithful? Thank you, Janet. All right, Glenn, how is Cynthia going to react to that?
Can she be in love with you and be unfaithful, right?
The question is, can a man be unfaithful to a woman and still be in love with her?
No.
You think that, okay, you think that a man, she will say, no, a man cannot be unfaithful to a woman and still be in love with her.
I don't think a man can be in love with a woman and be unfaithful to her.
Okay, and that's what you think Cynthia will say. She'll say no. He's thinking
Sorry.
about it now. Yes, okay. Is that it? That's the answer. Let's bring on Cynthia. All right, Cynthia, what is your answer?
No.
That's what he said. You're absolutely right. It was a very definite no. Okay, that's halftime. At this point, Cynthia and Glenn have $100. Janet, Lee, or Carolyn and Orson are tied with $200 apiece. Halftime, fellas, if you will, step to the rear. Ladies, come on out in front. While we are changing places, we'll break away for a brief message just for you. I hope you are too.
You swine.
Our audience is winning money. Everybody's winning money today. And if they're in the rooting section backing our top winning couple, and we're going to have a top winning couple, we're going to give away another $1,000 to that rooting section. All right, gentlemen, it's now the ladies' turn to sit in the hot seat out here, and we'll get back to you with clues and questions in just a minute, okay? See you soon. All right, ladies, ready to go?
Tension mounts.
Tension mounts. We have a close game, by the way, in case you don't know. Carolyn, you and Orson have $200. Janet, you and Lee have $200. And Cynthia, you and Glenn have $100. So one question will even it all up. Here it comes. First question for the ladies, and it is an incident involving food. Spurred on by that reaction from your rooting section, tell us your story
When you
about
hear
food.
this one. Lee and I took our 3 children out to lunch one day. I was on the road. And we all went out to lunch. And before we left the hotel room, I said, now, anybody that has to go to the bathroom, go. Because once we get to the restaurant, I'm not going to be taking you back and forth. So they said, no, we don't have to go. So we went in, we sat down, we ordered. And my 4-year-old Goober, sorry, his name is John. We call him Goober. Goober says he had just gotten served his cheeseburger. He says, Mom, I got to go to the bathroom. I said, you can't. I told you you couldn't. You just sit and eat, and when we get back, you can go. He says, Ma, I really got to go. I said, Goober, you're just going to have to eat, and when we get back, you can go. He says, okay, but it sure is hard to eat a cheeseburger with only one hand.
Oh, my. Out of the mouths of babes. Oh, that's wonderful. That's just wonderful. All right, we need a clue now that...
I guess I'll say cheeseburger.
I think so. An incident involving food and cheeseburger should do it for Lee. Huh? Okay, let's bring on the fellas. Gentlemen, we have asked a question and we have a clue. Here is the question first. An incident involving food. Okay? The clue is cheeseburger. Lee. That sounds familiar to you, Lee?
Yes. Does it sound like one hand?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like, and you're absolutely right. Okay, at this point, Cynthia and Glenn have $100. Carol and Orson have $200. Janet and Lee are in the lead with $300. We'll come right back with more of Tattletales after a brief message for you.
Through this.
If IBM designed, hello there.
Yes.
If IBM designed my mouth, it would work a lot better, I think. If IBM designed a computer that would predict what was going to happen to you for the next 5 years, good and bad, would you want to know? If IBM designed a computer that would predict what was going to happen to you for the next 5 years, good and bad, would you want to know? Think about that, fellas, and we'll come back to you in just a moment.
You asking them?
Yes, I'm asking them, and now you're going to tell us what you think they will say, okay? Carolyn, what will Orson say?
No.
He wouldn't want to know?
No.
Why not?
Because we kind of enjoy all the surprises in life.
Okay. Yeah, it would take a lot of surprise out. But what if it was all good news? Then you'd really be kind of excited about it. But it would be more fun to let it happen.
It's nice to wake up and not know what you're going to do the next day, the next week, the next month,
or the next minute.
year, the next minute.
All right, so you'll say that Orson will say no. He would not want to know.
Right.
But you want to know. Okay, let's bring him on. Orson, how do you feel about that? Would you like to know, yes or no?
I hate it, no.
That's what you said. You're right. Absolutely right. Yes, you said it would lack surprise for you. Is that right?
Oh, well, whatever it is, I don't trust machines.
Thank you, Orson. Okay, Janet, what's Lee going to say?
I think that Lee would say no, just because we both are sort of pessimistic in some ways, and I really wouldn't want to know. I don't think he would either.
Really?
I don't think so.
Well, supposing, like I said to Carolyn, it was if you have sort of a pessimistic outlook or maybe a cynical one, how about if it was a lot of good news in there?
Yeah, but how would you know?
Well, the machine's going to tell you. It says here.
I mean, how would you know that it was going to be good? And you can't. When you're a pessimist, you don't count on that. You know what I mean?
When you're a pessimist, you say, nevertheless, the machine is lying, right?
Anyway,
right,
I don't think he would.
You'll say no. All right, let's bring on Lee. Okay, Lee, how would you react to that? Yes or no? Would you like to know?
Absolutely not.
That's what you said. You were right.
Except maybe about what's going to happen tonight.
We didn't hear you, Lee. Say it again.
Except maybe about what's going to happen tonight.
All right, thank you. You're right. Cynthia, how about Glenn? How's he going to feel about that?
Well, Glenn has his chart done, and it's sent to the house, and he knows every day. I could be very wrong, but I would say yes.
He would like to know.
Well, just by what I've seen, I don't know whether, no one wants to hear bad news, but I think that if it's negative, he would know in advance. I don't know why he does it, but he does have a chart sent at home.
Okay, so you're going to gamble and say he'll say yes.
Yes.
All right, let's see if he does. All right, Glenn, yes or no? Would you like to know?
Well, when you say IBM, I get a little suspicious, but yes.
That's what you said. You are right. Absolutely right. Which brings up an interesting question. You get a chart, Cynthia said. Is it accurate? Does it really tell you pretty much what's going to happen, do you think? Does it predict pretty well?
No.
It doesn't. Oh, it does.
Oh, yes, it does, but I'm not going to say it on the air.
Okay. That signal means our time is up. Our winners are Janet and Lee. Janet and Lee, you've won $400. We add $1,000 to that for a total of $1,400 for your rooting section. Oh, boy. Pandemonium reigns, and we'll be back for more of it after this message.
Remember the whammy?
Okay, we had a good time today. I hope you did too. We gave away a total of $1,900 to our studio audience today. Everybody will go home a little richer than they came in. And I hope that you will go away a little richer than when you tune us in, hopefully from some laughs. I want to thank our celebrities. We had a good time. See you next time on Tattletales. Bert Conner saying so long.
Love that, Bob? Coming up next is a whole Bob Lovin' Hour with the Newlywed Game, followed by Card Sharks. That gives you a whole hour to Love That, Bob. That's Newlywed Game, followed by Card Sharks, only on Game Show Network.
Everyone in this arena has a money stake in one of our famous couples. The red section has its money on director Lee Bernhardi and his wife Janet Lennon of the Lennon sisters. The yellow section backs Orson Bean and his wife Carolyn. And the blue section is betting on Glenn Ford and his fiancée actress Cynthia Hayward as we play the game of celebrity gossip, Tattletales. And here's the star of Tattletales, Bert Convy.
He's not looking. Good afternoon.
I kissed you. Isn't that enough?
You want an answer? How are you, everybody? Having a nice time? How are you? Nice to see you all. We're going to win you all some money today. We got a rooting section for each one of our terrific couples here today. They're going to win them some money. Shall we start doing that now?
Why not?
Why don't we start now? Fellas, have a seat with me. Ladies, you will sit back there in those three little chairs, and we will begin our first round of Tattletales in just a moment.
Does a woman...
Is it okay? Okay, we're going to introduce our couples one by one. First on my left is Mr. Glenn Ford and his fiancée, Cynthia Hayward. There she is. Yes, you can't see her through that door. There she is, right in the little box there.
No.
You look lovely, Cynthia. Next to Cynthia and Glenn is Mr. Orson Bean and his wife, Carolyn Bean. Wow. What a shot I got in the earlobes from that one.
You may remember me. I formerly went on the screen under the name of Irene Dunn.
Never mind. Next to Carolyn and Orsolin. I'm fine. Carolyn and Orsolin. Sounds like a shot you get for a cold. Next to Orsolin and Carolyn is Mr. Lee Bernhardi and Janet Lennon. Okay, we're all set to go. This is fun. I'm out here rooting for you, too, gang. I'm rooting for all three couples. I'm totally neutral. Ladies, we're going to say goodbye to you now. We're going to ask the fellas questions. Get ready to have some clues and some questions. Goodbye, ladies. Okay, fellas, ready to go? Here comes the first question, and it is this. It happened away from home. All right, Lee, you're up.
Well, my wife was appearing in New York, I think, on the Ed Sullivan Show or something, and we'd already had one child. And it was more or less a nice little trip away from home. So in New York, we decided that we would go see a Broadway play, which I had never seen. And we did. We went and saw Fiddler on the Roof, whatever. And afterwards, she wanted to go to, what is it, Lindy's for a piece of
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake. Good. Okay. Well, we were sitting at the.
Forget Lindy's cheesecake. This is ridiculous.
I didn't like cheesecake at the time.
I like.
Anyway, we're sitting there, and all of a sudden,
cheesecake. I mean, geez.
This strange lady across from me starts. She's acting very funny, and she'd say, "What are you doing after you finish your cheesecake?" And I think this is kind of strange. So I just kind of ignored it. Then on the way home, she'd kind of hold my hand and was putting her arm around me. She's acting very strange. Then I realized that my wife has cleverly, to make our trip more interesting, assumed, how would you say it, another identity.
That of a sidewalk stewardess,
yes,
perhaps?
Yes, as a matter of fact. Well, we proceeded to the hotel and had a very enjoyable evening, and when we got home, we found out that we were going to have a second child. Well, the child looks like both of us, but I really don't know whose it is. I know part of it's mine. But anyway, this strange lady that I
think I missed part of this story somewhere.
Right. I could have told the whole story in 10 words, but he's going on.
It's a half-hour show.
Now, you were with Janet.
I was with Janet, and she assumed a different character to enlighten our evening.
Well, get to the point.
I see. So what happened then?
She became pregnant.
That's the point of the story.
That is the point of the story.
Thanks.
You just enlightened my evening, too, listening to this.
Oh, geez, you can't have everything.
All right, now, we need a clue. It happened away from home. And the clue is...
Right.
I say imposter.
Cheesecake!
You say what?
Imposter.
Imposter? You say imposter. You say imposter. I say imposter. All right. Imposter is a one-word clue worth $100 if Janet recognizes it.
All right.
Here we go. Let's bring her on. Okay, ladies. We've asked the fellas a question. We have a lengthy answer and a clue. The question was, it happened away from home. And the clue is imposter. Janet.
Well, Lee and I went to a Broadway show, Fiddler on the Roof or something, and afterwards we went to Lindy's for cheesecake, and I just decided I was tired of being myself. So I just turned into somebody else, and I invited him home to my hotel room, and 9 months later, our son was born. Bad timing.
That's what he said. And you're right. Who was playing Fiddler on the... Who was in Fiddler on the Roof?
Never mind. What a question.
I just want to know if it was
Many
zero.
childless
Harry
couples
Goss.
all over America
Oh,
have
Harry
just left
Goss.
the room to
You know
try
what?
the system.
Never
I
mind.
have to say something.
What's that?
We were married at the time. I don't
Sure
think
we
I
Oh,
were.
yes, we understood all that. Thank you
Sure
very
we were,
much.
dear.
Okay, ladies, thank you. We're coming back with the next question, another
She's gotta
clue in
ruin
just a
everything.
moment. What was that?
She's got to ruin everything.
No. We understood that. Here's the next question coming up. And we are ready. It happened away from home. Same question.
Again?
Yes, he did. By a hair, but electronically Orson was in there.
Oh, I won.
Yes,
I thought
sir.
you won.
No, it's
We were
electronic.
off on a trip to visit my father in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in our van. We drive a Volkswagen bus, and the 4 kids were in the back, and the cat, and me, and Carolyn up in the front, and there's a horrible storm starting to blow up. And we get on the Connecticut Turnpike, and I've just gone to the bank and cashed a check for $200-300 for our money for the whole week up in Boston. And I've got it in my pocket, and I'm strapped in with the idiot seatbelt, and the van is swaying in the wind, and we're on the Connecticut Turnpike, and we pull up to where you have to put the quarter into the thing, and I can't get my hand in my pocket to get the quarter out because of the seatbelt. And finally, I pull out all the money, and I put it in my lap, and I reach back in, and I get a quarter, and I roll the window down to put the quarter in the thing, and the quarter falls to the floor of the bus. And the only way I can get it is to open the door, and the wind comes in, takes all the money. It goes flying in the air. And I scream, and I go flying, leave the bus there with the cars honking behind us, and I go flying, trying to grab the money. Tens and twenties, hundreds of dollars were flying in the air.
Oh,
Isn't that a horrible
that's
story?
a horrible story. Did you get it all back or no?
No, I didn't get any of it back.
Oh, no.
Money fell all over the state of Connecticut the next week.
Wow.
I'm
That's
sorry
enough.
you didn't get in there first.
The guard is chasing you. Give me my quarter. All right.
Do it again.
What we need is a clue now that Carolyn's going to recognize. It happened away from home.
I think I need a 2-word clue, like... This crowd is getting nasty.
Yes,
Money.
they have some good ideas, too. Can you hear them?
Money, I
Money
guess.
is the word he wants. One word clue.
I don't know.
The money's
I don't know
habit.
if she's going to get it from that, like money blow, she'd get it from. I think I better go with 2 words, money blow.
Money blow.
It's on your head, money.
All right, he's going with money. Is that what you're going with? The man is going with a 1-word clue, and it is money. All right, let's bring on the
They
ladies.
asked for it.
All right, by popular request. Ladies, we have another question. We have a clue. It is the same question. It happened away from home. And the clue is money. Carolyn.
The money is
And
a long
you-
way from home, right?
What's that?
And the money is a long way from home. Is that the money?
That's it.
You want to tell us how that happened? Well, you know, it's...
Right out the car. All
That's
over
what the man said. You're right.
That's why we're doing this show.
Okay,
We
you were
need the
right.
money.
At this point, Cynthia and Glenn have yet to score. Carolyn Orson, Janet and Lee are tied with $100 apiece. All righty, time to play a Tattletale quickie now. Here it comes. Ladies, I'll ask you the question. Please don't give me the answer. Now, we all know that most men will go out of their way to look at a beautiful girl in a bikini. We all know that. Well, but honestly, would you go out of your way to look at a well-built man in a brief bathing suit? Now, don't give me an answer. Don't say a word. We all know that most men will go out of their way to look at a beautiful girl in a bikini, but honestly, would you go out of your way to look at a well-built man in a brief bathing suit?
Why don't you try it?
And if you would, I just happen to have a little number here that you're going to be crazy about. Okay, ladies, go away and think about it. We'll come back in a moment.
The question?
The question is, would she go out of her way?
No,
What do you think she'll say?
What do I think she's saying?
Mm-hmm.
Would I go out of the way?
No, would she? Would she go out of her way to look at a well-built man
No.
in a bathing suit?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Why wouldn't she? Now, wait a minute. You see, the assumption here is we all know that most men will go out of their way to look at... You'd look at a woman in a bathing suit. You don't think that
No,
she
I
would?
know Cynthia enough to know that I don't think she would go out of her way, let's put.
On top of that,
Right.
they swim naked. It's the bathing suit will put her off.
Because that's the question. You're right. Go out of your way. All right, let's bring her on. Cynthia. Cynthia, would you go out of your way to look at a well-built man in a brief bathing suit?
I might not go out of my way, but I'd sure look. So I'd say yes.
Sorry, old man. Come on out, I'll buy you a beer.
There's a man out here that didn't
no.
think you'd say that. Want to explain that to her, Glenn?
No.
No. We'll just let it go with that. Sorry, dear, that's not what the man said. Thank you. All right, Orson, what's Carolyn going to say?
Why, it was only the other day that she said to me, "Hey, Ors, look at that well-built man in the brief bathing suit." Yeah, of course you were.
Yes, all right. Let's bring Carolyn on and see if she feels that way. Carolyn, would you go out of your way to look at a well-built man in a bathing suit?
The next best thing to skinny dipping.
I believe that was a yes answer, wasn't it? Thank you, Carolyn. You're absolutely right. That's what Orson said. Lee, how about Janet? What's she going to say?
What do you think? I don't, and if you read the whole question as to whether she will go out of her way, I think that she would not go out of her way.
All right. I will say that. I will say, I'll read the whole last half of that question then. All
That's
right?
the point of my question. She would not go out of her way.
Well, I said that to her, and she said she may not go out of her way,
But she doesn't hear very well.
And then she switched it.
Yeah, he gets half for that.
All right, let's bring on Janet. All right, Janet. Janet, honestly, would you go out of your way to look at a well-built man in a brief bathing suit?
I have no idea what Lee's going to say to this, but it just wouldn't interest me at all.
That's what he said. You're right.
I got her trained. Good shot in
Okay,
the chops.
at this point, Cynthia and Glenn have yet to score. Carolyn Orson, Janet, and Lee are still tied with $200 apiece. Halftime, folks. Fellas to the rear, ladies to the front. Oh, women out here. Okay, oh, we'll break away. We'll be right back. We're switching places. Almost forgot you there for a minute. All right, fellas, you're ready to go. It's the ladies' turn now, and Cynthia's got here with her fingers crossed, Glenn. Let's get lucky. Here we go. See you in just a minute, fellas. Ladies, ready to go. First question coming up, and this is it. The first time you met. Carolyn is up.
Well, some of you already know Orson and I met in a bar. And when we met, we were sitting at a table. I mean, he likes to say that he picked me up. And I don't mind him saying he picked me up, but we were sitting at a table with mutual friends, and someone wanted a match for a cigarette, and Orson thought that he would impress me, and he was in a show at the time, and there was a newspaper strike, so they had matches.
That's the fellas backstage listening to the music. We heard a voice come out.
Wondered what that was. And
they can't hear us, though,
oh,
so
okay.
it's all right.
So he pulled out these matches with Never Too Late on them, to make a big impression. And I really thought that was going a bit far, and it really turned me off. And he had to work very hard after that.
To change.
But he succeeded.
He did.
But you know what really won me over? Was when he opened his wallet and showed me a picture of his 3-year-old daughter.
That did
And I
it.
thought that was sweet. And he was very surprised to find out afterwards that something that he thought was going to make a big impression,
Didn't work.
did zilch. And the
Never
sweet
Too
little
Late being the
thing.
name of the play he was in
Never
at
Too
the
Late was the
time.
name of the play.
Okay, so we need a clue now that he's going to recognize.
Matches?
First time you met, matches.
Okay, matches. Good
Matches
clue.
is the clue. One word, worth $100. Let's bring on the fellas. All right, gentlemen, we've asked a question. We do have a clue. Here is the question first. The first time you met. And the clue is matches. Matches. You gave him a scare there for a minute, Orson, I can tell you that. Tell us about that, if you will, sir.
Oh, the terrible
I've
woman.
forgiven you.
Yeah, but I won't forgive you for telling the story. Well, it's a dumb thing. I was in a show called Never Too Late, and they had matches printed up with the name of the show, and my name was on there as one of the stars of the show, and I guess I wanted to come on a little strong.
Okay, at this point, Cynthia and Glenn have yet to score. Janet Lee have $300. Carolyn and Orson are in the lead with $300. We shall return momentarily after a brief commercial message for you. Fellas, are you there?
Yeah.
Here's the question. Don't give me the answer. Which of the two of you is really the more romantic at heart? That's a good one. Which of the two of you is really the more romantic at heart? Think about that, fellas. We'll come back to you in just a moment for your answer. Cynthia, what's Glenn going to say? Which one of you he thinks he will say that he is the more romantic at heart? Is he, in fact?
No.
I had a feeling. But he thinks he is.
We're equal. I'll say Glenn.
But he'll say that you think he'll say he is, huh?
I hope so.
Okay, I hope so too. Let's bring him on and find out. All right, Glenn, which of you is really the more romantic at heart, do you think?
I think I am.
That's what she said. You're right. Now tell him what the rest of that, if you will, Cynthia.
I said that I think that I am, but I was going to be nice tonight.
What?
Honey? Honey.
He's just smiling and saying, well, she can think what she wants to think. Thank you. You were right on that one, Glenn. Thank you. Carolyn, how about Orson? What's he going to say?
It's really a hard question, because I really think that we're equal, too. I don't know. What do you think, folks? You know him as well as I do. Gee, I think he'll maybe think he is. He really, he is such a bunny. He really does sweet things like bringing me flowers and always has candles lit on the table for dinner and stuff. I guess he really is so sweet. Yes, Orson is.
You're going to say he is.
Yeah, but
He'll
that's
say
not to mean that I'm not romantic.
No, we're not saying, we're not taking a thing away from you.
Okay.
No, sir. Let's bring him on. All right, Orson, who is really the more romantic at heart between you and Carolyn, would you say?
The first time I ever laid eyes on Carolyn in that smoke-filled bar, she had such an air of romance about her that it made me want to take her home and ravish her. I think she's more romantic than I am. I meant to say I'm more romantic than she.
Too late. Sorry about that, Orson. Thank you. That's not what Carolyn said. Okay. Janet, how about Lee? What's he going to say?
Personally, I think that I'm the most romantic, but I really, really think, you guys, that he's going to say he is, okay? Would I let you down? Maybe. I'll say that he'll say that he.
Okay, let's bring him on and find out. Okay, Lee, who is really the more romantic at heart, you or Janet?
Well, that's really one of those unfair questions, because we all feel that we're more romantic than the other, and in our own little way. But I would have to say that I think that Janet is more romantic.
That, however, is not...
He made a mistake. Say it again, dear.
Would you
I
like to
said I'm more romantic than you.
No, I'm sorry.
Can we play this round
We
again?
heard you the first time, and I'm sorry, Lee. That's not what Janet said. Thank you very much, however. Okay, moving right along. No, we're not going to move along because that signal means time is up. Our winners are Carolyn and Orson Bean. Carolyn and Orson, you have won $300 for your rooting section. We had $1,000 to that for a total of $1,300. We'll come back with more of Tattletales after this message. Please come back. It's about out of time. We gave away $1,600 today. I hope you had fun. We sure did. Thanks to our celebrity couples. See you next time on Tattletales. Bert Conley saying so long, everybody. Bye now.
This is Jack Clark speaking for Tattletales, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.